Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're doing another What's It Worth, and obviously in our previous video, we've covered the Gleaming Halloween Shawchi. Getting straight to the point, sitting right behind me is going to be none other than the Gamma Halloween Shawchi. Now this bad boy was actually caught and lent it to me by Jimmy NGX, so major shoutouts to you. Here's your YouTube channel. But before we get straight into any of the facts, I want you guys to keep everything I say with a grain of salt, as all this information is subject to change. That being said, we can see this bad boy standing at a whopping 1 in 320,000 chance to find in the wild, since it's a 1 in 500 times 640 chance to find that. And as for his GR, we can see this being around almost 90 GR with good demand to about almost 100 plus GR with good demand. Some people are trying to overpay for this, but I wouldn't give it OP demand. I would say it's just good demand while getting some OPs in the process. That being said, let's get straight to the trading process. All right, let's go in the chat and type in looking for offers on Gamma Halloween Shawchi, and boom. And now let's wait for offers. All right, and our first trade request is coming from www103 So let's see what www has shared with us today. So we showed up with a Gamma Nevermare Pure Nimble, and it does seem like this may be www's final offer, but I'll quickly check in a second. All right, so www and I have been talking for a while, and I mean, right now they're saying sub to this guy. I'm assuming sub to this guy or sub to Warclipes or whatever, but major shoutouts to you for that. And we do add in the Emerald Geklo, which is gonna be Tender Smart Lightning Rod, the Gamma Rainbow's Baroche Hyper Tender, and the Rainbow Fairglyph Clever, and it's also gonna be Idiosyncratic. We also do sub in one of the Loomians for a Gamma Cryo Cub Pure Nimble, and I'm just gonna guess that this is gonna be ww's final offer. So with this being said, is this trade worth it? Unfortunately, this trade is gonna push towards a thumbs down. Do keep in mind that the Gamma Nevermare is gonna be around almost 30 GR with about good demand, and as for everything else, is gonna have relatively bad demand. I mean, I don't really have to go too much into it. Gamma Cryo Cub usually about 2.5 bad. This is gonna be about almost 0.1 bad. And as for the Rainbow Fairglyph, you can see this being around almost 2 GR to 2.1 GR, since it is gonna be idiosyncratic. That being said, let's get into our next trade. All right, and the next trade request is coming from Sun Kiarl 48. We'll just call you Sun. So let's see what Sun has shared with us today. So we start off with a Gamma Pink Pattern Icy Gold Pure Brownie, a Gamma Christmas Griefstone Pure Nimble, a Gleam Ruby Garjone Frail Smart, a Gleam Emerald Valens Hyper Sluggish, a Gleam Sandcastle Fairglyph Pure Nimble, and it's also gonna be Temper, Gleam Santa Dusket Pure Nimble, Gamma Female Vari Rainbow Wisp Brownie Sluggish, Gleaming Halloween Dusket White Pure Nimble, Gleam Noli Metronet Pure Nimble, a Gleaming Halloween Protagon Pure Brownie, and it does seem like this may be Sun's final offer, but I'll quickly check in a second. So currently we're just in the midst of talking with Sun. They did just say this is gonna be one of their offers, being the Icicle, the Gamma Vari, 2 Gamma Duskets being Pure Nimble, and once again Pure Nimble. And the second trade will be the Gamma Christmas Gravestone Pure Nimble, the Gamma Vari, which is gonna be the Rainbow Wisp, the Gleaming Halloween White Dusket, and the Gleaming Halloween Protagon Pure Brownie. So we'll first start off with the initial trade that we have right here, being the Gamma Gravestone. All these right here. Is this trade in specific worth it? Now we know Gamma Gravestone is gonna be around almost 30 GR. As for the Gamma Vari in general, they have about horrendous demand with 2 GR, so they don't really get that 2 GR. But since this one is Rainbow Wisp, we can see this being well over 15 GR. Still though, with horrendous demand. Granted, it is literally brawny sluggish. Just keep that in mind. As for the Gleaming Halloween Dusket, we can see this being around almost 45 GR, since this is gonna be Pure Nimble. And as for the Gleaming Halloween Protagon, we can see this being around almost 30 GR with good demand. Main reason I say that is just because of the fact that mainly it's just brawny, so it's not really pure nimble or pure smart and all that. With all this now taken account for, is this trade worth it? This trade will have to lean more towards an E/L. The main reason I say E/L is because of the fact that 2 of these Loomians are gonna have horrendous demand, and I say horrendous as in bad/horrendous. The Gamma Gravestone, obviously, as we did say, 30 bad. We have the almost 15 horrendous from the Vari, but on the good side, we do have some good GR incoming from the Duskets, being obviously 45, and for the Gleaming Halloween Proto about 30. So 75 good mixed plus almost about 45 horrendous. Wouldn't be the strongest trade. If this was a bad-natured Gamma Halloween Shawchi, sure, we can give that the E/L. In this specific circumstance, this will be an L in my stance. We'll get straight into the second trade, which is going to be the 2 Gamma Duskets plus the Gamma Vari and the Gamma Icicle. Now, granted, this Icicle in general is going to be around almost 100 GR with bad demand. The Gamma Duskets will come through by being around almost 16 to 18 GR with great demand for each of those, so that'll be decent to work with. Now, bear in mind, we're still working with that Gamma Vari. Both of those 2 Loomians, being the Icy and the Vari, will have bad demand overall. Main reason, obviously, as I did state, is because simply due to demand. But is that trade worth it? Unfortunately, this trade has got to lean more towards an E/L, and I say more closer to the L side, mainly because of the fact of demand. Overall, it isn't the worst trade you could take, so just keep that in mind. That being said, obviously, Sun has canceled the trade since I took a little too long. Let's get straight into our next trade. All right, and our next trade request is coming from Monkey45675. So let's see what Monkey has to share with us today. So we start off with a Gamma Purple Cosmere Pure Smart, a Gamma Blue Pure Nimble, a Gamma Red Pure Nimble, a Gamma Teal Pure Robust, a Gamma Orange Pure Nimble, a Gamma Green Tender Nimble, a Gamma Fairglyph Pure Nimble, and we are currently swapping out literally everything that I was just about to name. So I'll just let Monkey do their thing, and we're just gonna quickly cut back once we've gotten their final offer. And Monkey did just say all, by the way, so we'll just make this very easy for ourselves. We'll just use all the Loomians right here. Is this trade worth it? And we'll also count those, Gamma Cosmeres as well. That trade is going to push towards a massive thumbs up. The main reason is simply because this is a flex offer. We're flexing right now. I don't really gotta yap too much about this. It's very simple, very straight to the point. They're swapping out over like 20 Loomians. And with this being said, let's get into our next trade. All right, and the next trade request is coming from TRG_OG. So let's see what TRG has to share with us today. All right, so we start off with a Mecha Ikazune, Tender Nimble, and it's also going to be rechargeable. A Curlin, Brawny Clumsy. A Weevil, Robust Foolish. Bambat, Indifferent. A Himber, Very Brawny Clumsy Foolish. A Protagon, Indifferent. A Dractus, Brawny, Very Clumsy and Nimble. And it does seem like this is going to be TRG's final offer, but I'll quickly check in a second. And TRG did just say, yeah, but add more. And yeah, we're going to straight to the point. Obviously, we're not going to add more for this. So that being said, this trade is going to push towards a massive thumbs down. We're not pushing 1 GR. And very, very obvious, it's not a lot to work with. So that being said, let's get into our next and final trade. All right, and the next and final trade request is coming from Desired Unit. So let's see what Desired has to share with us today. So we start off with a Gamma Halloween Green Ikazune, Robust Sluggish, a Gleamy Halloween Black Duskin, Pure Nimble. And it does seem like this is going to be Desired's final offer, but I'll quickly check in a second. All right, and the Desired did just say yes as to whether or not this is their final offer or not. So with this being said, is this trade worth it? This trade is an obvious massive thumbs up. Do keep in mind that the Gleam Halloween Ikazune, the green specifically, will be getting over 105 GR with great demand. Additionally, for the Gleaming Halloween Black Duskin, we're going to see that around almost 45 GR with good demand. Overall, we're working with a great amount of GR, and this is about almost 150 GR max with good demand. Now, obviously, I'm not going to yap any further. Major thumbs up. And with this being said, let's wrap this trade up. Alrighty, guys, that's going to be it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to like, subscribe, and join our Discord server. While you're at it, go join Reliable Values. Obviously, as it says in the name, it's reliable. I would highly recommend it for any sort of values and discussions you may need regarding values and demands. Don't just stop there. Head on over to my TikTok because, yes, Unk does post on TikTok. So if you guys want to go see any of that stuff, which, I mean, yes, it is repost, go see it anyways. I would highly recommend it. Last two reminders, if you guys didn't remember from our previous video, we're actually hosting a Gleam Ikazune giveaway for almost 200 subs for Spec Dex. So major shout outs to you once again. So go join that giveaway if you guys haven't already. Dex is really close to actually hitting that goal. So go do that right now before it's too late. Lastly, go join our Roblox group as I'm going to be dropping the Gleaming Halloween Dust Kit and Noli merch on October 31st at the very minimum. So if you guys want to go see that, join ASAP before it's too late, especially for the Noli as that's going to be limited. But with this being said, I hope you guys did enjoy. Remember, pineapples are vegetables. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, stay safe, peace.